Maji ya KIFUU, bahari ya CHUNGU. Water in a shell. Sea in a pot. That is the proverb we explore today. But before I explain it, let me ask you something. Have you ever started with something so small, so fragile, so seemingly useless, that everyone around you said it would never amount to anything? This is the story of Mama Wanjiru, a widow from Makueni County. And this is the story of how one cracked bucket changed an entire village. This is Mama Wanjiru, a widow in Makueni County, eastern Kenya. The land here is harsh. Red dust, scattered acacia trees, sun that punishes. She owns one broken bucket, a tiny plot of land, 3 children to feed. While her neighbors wait for government aid, for NGOs, for someone to save them, Mama Wanjiru wakes up before dawn. She walks to the well. Twice a day. Every day. With that cracked bucket that loses a third of its water on the walk home. Everyone sees the crack. Nobody sees what she sees. She plants 5 seedlings. Just 5. Not 50. Not 500. 5. Gravelia trees, the kind that hold soil and give shade. Every afternoon, she carries water in her cupped hands from the cracked bucket to each seedling. Water drips through the crack, splashing the dry earth, and she cups what remains. The neighbors watch from the shade. They laugh. One woman says, "Water in a shell? That little drop won't grow anything." Mama Wanjiru doesn't look up. She just keeps pouring. It is not that she wasn't afraid. She was terrified. Her land was dry as bone. The nearest well was 40 minutes away. Her children ate thin uji for dinner, the maize running low. But Mama Wanjiru made a calculation that no one else understood. Not how little she had, but how much she could give. She counted drops, not liters. She counted days, not seasons. And every single day, those 5 seedlings got exactly enough water to survive. Not thrive. Not flourish. Just survive. And surviving was enough. Then came the day that almost ended everything. She was kneeling beside the seedlings, pouring the last water from her bucket, when she heard it crack. The plastic split in 2. Water gushed into the dust. She sat there, holding the 2 halves, her hands shaking. The neighbors looked away. The children watched from the doorway. She lay down in the ochre dust and wept. Shoulders shaking. Silent tears. The wind blew. The seedlings swayed. Then Mama Wanjiru wiped her face with her kanga. She stood up. She walked into the hut. She came out with a small dried gourd. She walked toward the well. The sun was directly overhead, brutal. She did not look back. A small gourd. Even less water. Much less than the bucket ever carried. But her intention was an ocean. Day after day, she walked the same path. The same 40 minutes. The same sun. But now with a gourd instead of a bucket. And those 5 seedlings. They began to grow. New leaves unfurled. Roots deepened. Stems thickened. Because a gourd, even though it carries less, doesn't crack. It doesn't leak. It holds what it's given. And Mama Wanjiru gave it everything she had. 5 became 50. The seedlings grew, and she planted more. 50 planted in organized rows, protected by a fence of thorn branches. Now her children helped. The eldest carried a smaller gourd. Every morning, they walked in a silent line. Mother in front. Children behind. Each carrying their vessel. Each giving what they could. This was no longer one woman's project. It was a family mission. And the village? Still watching. Still doubting. But no longer laughing. Then the dry season came. The worst in years. Rivers dried. Wells shrunk. Other farmers lost everything. But Mama Wanjiru had learned something that no drought could take away. She had learned to ration. First the seedlings, then the children, then herself. She slept little, waking before dawn to reach the well before the sun. Her lips cracked. She drank last, after the plants and after the children. During the hottest hours, she shaded the smallest seedlings with woven sacks. Every single seedling survived that dry season. Every single one. 50 became 100. 100 became 1,000. One day, an agricultural officer from the county government passed by and stopped. He stared at the nursery. He counted the rows. He counted the seedlings. Then he opened his vehicle and gave her something. A seedling tray. Just 20 cells. Plastic, cheap, nothing special. Mama Wanjiru held it like it was made of gold. That tray changed everything. Because now she had structure. Now she had a system. The nursery was no longer just plants, it was infrastructure. The first pickup truck came to collect seedlings. Mama Wanjiru loaded the trays with the help of 2 neighbor women. The first time anyone had worked with her, not against her. She counted the seedlings. She received the money, crumpled notes, and tied them carefully in her kanga. That evening, her children put on shoes for the first time. Her hut got a new tin roof. And the nursery. It grew to half an acre. The women who once laughed were now asking if they could work for her. Maji ya KIFUU, bahari ya CHUNGU. 10 years later. The same stance. But a completely different picture. On the left, day 1. A widow with a cracked bucket, 5 seedlings in dry soil, and 3 barefoot children watching from the doorway. On the right, year 10. The same Mama Wanjiru, standing in a thriving nursery of 50,000 seedlings. 20 women working in neat rows behind her. Pickup trucks loading trees for delivery across the county. In the center, the three objects that tell the whole story. The cracked bucket, the dried gourd, the seedling tray. Three objects. One ocean. Maji ya KIFUU, bahari ya CHUNGU. Water in a shell. Sea in a pot. The ocean was always inside this mother's shell. We just couldn't see it. We saw a cracked bucket. We saw a dried gourd. We saw 5 tiny seedlings in dust. But God saw the ocean. God saw the 50,000 trees. God saw the 20 women with salaries. God saw the village transformed. The shell was never too small. The question was always whether the person holding it had an ocean inside. If you are starting with a tiny shell, stop saying it means nothing. Your shell is your ocean. Go build it. If this story touched you, comment Maji below. Share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And subscribe to Methali Stories. New episodes every week.